Right, so if you were to find out that somebody was on the no-fly list, you would probably assume that they're a bit of a serious criminal, wouldn't you? Well, in today's video, we're going to be talking about a situation where a TikToker has been put on the no-fly list through what seems to be mistaken identity. And the TikToker we're talking about today is Erin Wright, a TikToker with 66,000 followers. And just a couple of days ago, Erin actually uploaded a video that is now on 2.5 million views where she talks about the situation, and even just the caption alone, you can tell it's a bizarre situation. How I got permanently banned from flying American Airlines for having sexual relations with a man on a plane, even though I'm a lesbian.
If you're ever wondering how you could get permanently banned from flying American Airlines, this is how it happened to me. So in June, I went to fly to my sister's bachelorette party, and I went to check into my flight on my phone and it didn't work. So when I got to the airport like an hour and a half early, I went to the kiosk and it also errored, and I started to get nervous. So I just went to the help desk for American Airlines and asked them to check me in, and they were really nice, and they were like, sure. So they go to check in and it errors for them too, and they're like, oh, don't even worry, you probably just put your name or your birth date in wrong when you were entering your information when you bought the flight. Let us call someone and get it fixed. So they get on the phone, and they're on the phone for probably like 10 minutes, and I'm freaking out at this point. I'm like, I'm gonna miss my flight. And they get off the phone, the lady looks nervous, and she's like, ma'am, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but you've actually been banned from flying American Airlines.
Okay, so a few things straight away. First of all, this is a pretty important flight, right? Because she said it's her sister's bachelorette party. You obviously don't want to miss that. It's a big moment in a sister's life. A sister's obviously getting married. Like, this is something you don't want to miss. You don't need this stress at the airport. But the second thing, and the most confusing part about all of this to me, is how did she not know she was banned? And I'm not saying that in a way like, oh, you should know that you're banned, you did wrong, like, what did you do? I'm saying, like, how was she not told? Like, clearly, I mean, what it seems like anyways, as the situation goes on further, this is like a mistaken identity thing, right? But even if it is a mistaken identity thing, you would think that you would be contacted. I mean, I don't exactly know the process of getting banned from an airline, but I feel like if you were to be banned, you would get like an email, maybe a phone call telling you, you know, you've been banned, and you definitely wouldn't be able to purchase a ticket with that airline and then find out when you're about to actually get on the flight that you've been banned. I mean, that just seems completely wrong to me. Even if you're not sent an email or a phone call, like, you shouldn't be able to purchase a ticket, surely. And as we'll see further on this story, this became like a massive pain in the ass for Erin, like having to call for, I don't know how long. She goes on to say, I believe it was like a month, just trying to get her money back and just getting like no answers.
And I was like, what? Because I've never done anything. I was like, what did I get banned for? Can you tell me? And she was like, I'm really sorry. It's an issue of internal security. I can't tell you, but the person on the phone told me that you should know why. And I was like, well, I don't know why. So how do I fix this? Like, I need to fix it now.
Okay, right. Again, look, I don't know the ins and outs of this, but she says that she can't tell her why she's been banned because it's to do with like internal security. But surely if you're talking to the person who has been banned, like, you can tell them why. Like, I get it for security and privacy reasons. If you were just trying to find out why some, like, stranger got banned in an airline, they wouldn't tell you. But if you're trying to find out why you were banned, you should probably be told. Especially because it might be the case, like, in this situation here, that you were innocent and you've been mistaken for somebody else, it seems.
And she told me to call customer service. So I call customer service, and they also tell me it's an issue of internal security. And I'm like, wait, why can't you tell me if it involves me? Why is this like an issue with security or confidentiality? I was so confused.
Yeah, and bear in mind, by the way, this is on the day of her flight. So all of this is going on while she's trying to get on a flight. Again, this is clearly why you should be told, like on a phone call or an email, that you've been banned, so you don't have to wait till you've already paid $400 for another ticket, and you're trying to board a plane to go to your sister's bachelorette party. Like, why was she not told this before? And even in this situation, why is she not told why? So she can be like, well, that wasn't me. Now, we don't know the ins and outs of how this, like, mistaken identity thing happened, but if I had to guess, and here it is literally just a guess, right? I'm just assuming here. But do you know how on flights you can get like upgraded to a different seat once you've already boarded the plane? Or like if someone wants to like swap seats with you so they're closer to like a friend, you might just be like, okay, I'll swap seats, why not? Like, I'm pretty sure that if something happened, they would probably go by your seat number, right? So maybe that's the case. Maybe she swapped seats with someone who then went on and, you know, we've already seen the caption. I'm not even spoiling anything here. Like, had sex on the plane, right? And now poor Erin has been blamed for it and won't be told why.
So I'm like, okay, can you please give me the number for the customer relations, because I'm running out of time and I need to get this all cleared up. And she was like, actually, you can only email them. And I was like, great. So I realized that I'm going to miss my flight and I just need to book another flight. So I quickly booked myself another $1,000 round trip flight day of.
Yeah, I mean, in case the situation couldn't get any worse, she's now had to pay for a flight with a different airline, clearly, $1,000. And as we later find out, she doesn't get this money back. And the only reason she's had to pay this extra $1,000 to get the flight is because she's at the airport, it's her sister's bachelorette party, and she wasn't told beforehand that she was banned, and she was allowed to pay for a ticket with American Airlines, even though she was banned, and only just found out now. Like, clearly this is American Airlines' fault.
I proceed to be like, okay, I'm gonna get this all cleared up. Like, they'll refund me money. Like, it'll be fine. Even though I'm really frustrated. And I had to spend another 8 hours in the airport waiting for the other flight. So while I'm sitting at the airport waiting for my other flight that I booked, while I cry and call my mom, start emailing customer relations saying that I'm really confused and I don't know why I've been banned. If they could tell me why, that would be great. And also refund me the money that I just had to spend. Because I am now out $1,400, which was the flight that I booked through American Airlines that they said they wouldn't refund me because I booked it while I was banned. And then the $1,000 round trip flight that I had to book.
Yeah, I mean, $1,400 because of the situation is crazy. I genuinely think I could book a flight to most places in the world for $1,400. Oh, guess, wait, was that pounds? Like £1,200, £1,100? Maybe not, but I could get most places.
So the bachelorette party passes, and I finally hear back from customer relations saying that they can't tell me what happened.
What is this "we can't tell you what happened" thing all about here? If you're going to be banned from something, you should probably be told why. I mean, I would love to hear someone's thoughts from someone who maybe works in this field, maybe not with like American Airlines specifically, but would have a bit of like an idea of what's going on here. Like, why can't they be told if they're the ones who's been banned?
I then finally get an email from corporate security telling me that I have been banned because I was having sexual relations with a man on a flight while intoxicated. Well, let me tell you, I am a 24-year-old lesbian. Do you see me? Am I having sexual relations with any man? No. Also, keep in mind that it took 12 days and many emails from me between when I contacted customer relations to when I actually got an email back from corporate security. So this process is taking forever.
12 days not to solve the situation, but just to find out why she was banned. That is crazy to me. And you've got to bear in mind throughout all of this, she's obviously out a lot of money. She's paid $400 for a ticket that she wasn't even allowed to board, and she had to pay an extra $1,000 on top of that to book a late flight because she had just found out at the airport that she was banned.
So I emailed corporate security back and I'm like, hey, it wasn't me, so can you please take me off the list and also give me some money because this was your error and I'm now out $1,400. To which corporate security responds and says that I need to send them an official appeal through the email and tell them exactly why I didn't do it.
What does that? How are you supposed to prove that? If you're only just finding out now that this situation happened, how on earth are you meant to prove that it wasn't you who did this? Like, are there not cameras on planes? I feel like there would be cameras on planes, right? And now Erin goes on to explain what she mentioned in the email to try and prove that it wasn't her. And I mean, yeah, like, it is kind of the only thing you say in that situation, because, like, how else are you supposed to prove that?
So I emailed them a very serious email, but also somewhat funny, because in it I'm like, I don't really know how to prove that it wasn't me, except for the fact that I'm literally a lesbian and I can like get you letters from other people telling you that that's the truth.
Oh my, can you imagine having to do that? Like, you have to go up to your friend and be like, right, I know this is like a crazy thing to ask, but please can you send like a serious email to American Airlines confirming that I am indeed a lesbian? But again, like I was just saying, like, what else do you say in this situation? How else do you prove it?
3 months go by. So it's now, it's August, and this started in June, and I still haven't heard back from corporate security, and I'm like, how am I going to get this resolved? Like, I need to get off this list. I can't be on the no-fly list for the rest of my life. So my mom had to send an email to the law department at American Airlines, and then 2 days later, I finally hear back from corporate security. I get a call from some guy, being like, hey, we've reviewed your case and we've determined that it most likely was not you, so we're going to take you off the no-fly list until further notice, until we either figure out whether it was actually you or someone else. I asked if they could call me back and tell me what happened once they figure out how I ended up on the no-fly list, and they told me no, because it would be confidential at that point if it wasn't actually me.
Well, apparently it was confidential when they thought it was her, so yeah, I'm not surprised that they wouldn't tell her any more updates of the situation.
So I am now off the American Airlines permanent no-fly list, but also out $1,000. They did refund me the $400 flight that I booked, but said they couldn't send me any more money than that, even though it was their fault that I had to buy that $1,000 round-trip flight.
Yeah, that is absolutely wild, and to be honest, unfortunately, it's really not a surprise that they didn't refund the $1,000, which I feel like they should definitely do, because it is quite literally their fault that she had to pay for that extra ticket. But at the end of the day, with a massive company like this, realistically, all they're going to say is, well, you didn't pay that $1,000 to us, you paid it to a different airline, so regardless if it's our fault or not, you did it, we're not going to refund you. And looking at the comments of this video, people are just as confused as me. I mean, the top comment here with 11,000 likes says, so why doesn't American Airlines notify the passenger if you get banned so you don't find out on the day of your flight? Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question to me, like, why wasn't she told? And again, regardless if she was told or not, why was she allowed to purchase a ticket with her information? that makes zero sense. Oh, we've actually got a couple of comments from Erin herself here who said, when they called to tell me they were taking me off the no-fly list, they said, I hope this wasn't too much of an inconvenience. Oh, you mean the last 3 months of communication, missing my flight, getting my lawyer involved, and having to email 3 directors at American Airlines to get customer relations to respond to me. Oh, so this situation went on for months, clearly. Yeah, this is a massive fuck up from American Airlines, and clearly they weren't that asked. Oh yeah, and a comment here saying, everything else aside, how did they let you book if they banned you? Erin replied saying this. That comment's on 40,000 likes. Yeah, I mean, again, this is such a baffling situation to me. Now, I would assume that some of you watching this video would be saying, like, why don't you take legal action here? And someone has said this. They've said, can you take American Airlines to small claims court? Did you buy the second flight on a credit card that proves travel insurance? And Erin replied saying, lawyer said it would cost more to litigate than it's worth. So it doesn't look like maybe it's going to small claims court, but someone did reply saying small claims court is like $70 to file and anyone can do it without a lawyer. Erin with the eyes emoji, so maybe she'll take legal action. I don't know what's going to happen here. But one big positive with this situation is that Erin has uploaded a new video saying that this original TikTok has actually covered the cost for the flight.
So in June, I was accidentally put on the no-fly list for American Airlines because they said that I had sex with a man on an airplane, even though I am a lesbian. Because of this, I couldn't board my flight to my sister's bachelorette party and ended up having to book a $1,000 round-trip flight from New Mexico to New Orleans really last minute. It was a super upsetting experience, and American Airlines didn't compensate me for the inconvenience or the extra flight that I had to book because of their error. And so I made a video talking about my experience and asked people to blow it up so that I could try to recoup some of the money that I lost, and TikTok blew it up. I made pretty much the exact amount that I lost, so American Airlines doesn't even have to make it right.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically they don't, but you earned that $1,000 from your video, right? It wasn't from American Airlines. They still should, in my opinion. Oh, and also, even though I don't really know the prices to fly America, $1,000 seems a bit mental to fly to the same country to me. I realize America, massive place, right? This is me talking from the UK. I believe, like, genuinely, I think Texas is like bigger than the UK, or at least it's close. And also, I just did a quick Google, so this could be wrong, but apparently it's like a 2.5-hour flight. $1,000 is crazy for that time. I guess it's probably because she had a book last minute. She did say the original ticket was like $400. It still just seems a bit much to me, but like, I see like Americans flying by plane all the time to different states. Like, is that not a lot of money? Please let me know, because that seems ridiculous.
As far as an update with American Airlines goes, they still haven't reached out to me or commented on the video to make things right on their end, but I am hoping that they still will. I'm looking into a lot of the things that y'all recommended, like reaching out to the Department of Transportation to file a complaint or suing them in small claims court. I'm just really grateful for all your help and for blowing that video up because it took a lot of stress off of me financially, and I'm just really grateful for the community that TikTok has provided for me.
Well, there you go. Look, I'm very happy that she made the money back and didn't actually end up losing money, but it is crazy that it had to result in this, right? She had to make the money elsewhere instead of American Airlines actually just solving the situation. As she just said right there, she's potentially going to be taking legal action, filing a complaint as well, so who knows what's going to happen? Maybe we'll get an update in the future, but if this does go through small claims court, I can imagine it's probably going to take a long time before any of that happens. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on, first of all, do you think that she would be able to recoup the money? Or do you think it's not worth going to small claims court? Do you agree with her take on the situation? Do you not? All your thoughts, and yeah, I'm going to leave the video there. So if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.